Right on at 8:30. Perfect.
Yeah, nice.
My one clock says 8:24. Nothing seems to be syncing. My
Oh,
phone, phone says 8:29. Phone, I don't know. Every clock seems different to me right now.
mm. You'll have to sync them all up. But good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dana
Yes.
and Wendy show.
Thursday edition.
The
What will we do
Thursday
today?
edition. So
Yeah.
I'm just getting ready to get on the road. And sorry for the delay this morning, folks. I was out late with a dear friend last night. And we were cruising the pier, the Erio Pier. I posted some of those pictures on my Divine Wellness page and my Instagram page. I don't know about you, Wendy, but when you're looking out at scenery or water or sunsets, I am honestly so fascinated by cloud formations. I love them. I don't know why. And the color and the uniqueness and the swirls. And maybe it's just I actually enjoy the definition of things. I guess as I'm getting older, I'm really enjoying like the intricacies of things and how unique everything is. So it's kind of fun. It was a beautiful night. Um, it wasn't too wavy. Like I'm sure I would have had seasickness if we were out and about for sure. Even just gentle rollers, but it was nice. It was really calm. It was beautiful. So
Obviously
I'll put,
something that you needed, so that was nice.
yeah, it was really, really nice.
I miss
And
that. We used to have a boat and we used to go out all the time, and I just, yeah, I miss it. I miss it. But it's hard work too. It was a big pontoon that we had, and it was just the two of us, so it gets to be a little hard sometimes, but I
well,
like
James and I, normally try and make our way out to the sunset when we were at camp. And we actually have found a little secret location to create. It's just on the other side of our property line, and just to create a beautiful little sunset point, so we don't have to go out in the water, but definitely going to have mosquito netting.
yeah.
Definitely going to have mosquito netting because it's out in the bush and it's just beautiful. And we don't have like the sunsets behind our camp, so
Yeah.
but it's all good. So it was an interesting evening. And as I think as we grow old, we become a little more melancholy about things, right? And we really look at things in the bigger picture. And I think in the last we were talking about vulnerability and talking about how as we age, or how even as we're talking to our own children, how it's important to become vulnerable so that you can grow and you can love deeper, or you can um, create better change for yourself. And as you yesterday you were very vulnerable. You had, and you're growing into that, right? You're growing into that incredible power of vulnerability. And, that's something that Brene Brown talks about all the time. And probably because I've been listening to her on my trip down here. Just this ability to get over yourself.
Yeah.
And it's such a big hurdle to get over yourself. And I think as I've been mourning and grieving, that I maybe lost myself in things, because kind of, you go over the last 3 years and I'm kind of like, where was I, or where was my brain, or those types of things. And I find now, and we were both talking about that level of awareness in ourselves, and a level of awareness with our spirituality, and with our relationships, and with our family, and with the people that we love, that it was the ability to focus. And that's the ability to focus and stay in context, and to be solely one in one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's a bad habit, because it's a good habit, but I have a lot of bad habits that I'm trying to break out of, right? Of that multitasking. And as a woman, we just, the more multitasked you are, the more brilliant and incredible you are, right? That's the generation that we grew up in,
That's
right?
what we're told. Yes, that
That's what we're
superwoman
told.
is what we were supposed to be. Super mom,
Oh,
super
yeah,
business person, super wife, super daughter, super everything, and it's tiring, to be honest.
it's super tiring. It's incredibly tiring. And why have we set ourselves up for that? Like, and it's such a, we were laughing about how we're trying to get our kids, and you've got kids the same age too. Yeah. If one does the dishes, you're supposed to be cooking, or vice versa. If you're cooking, you're doing dishes. If I'm doing the laundry, you can help fold, or you can fold.
Yeah.
And it's about balance. That never really transformed in our generation. It was sort of transforming in our generation, right?
Mhm.
And it was still that transformation of, if you're at home, you still have to do all of that, and I don't have to.
Yeah.
And this next, or the younger generations from us, have kind of broken out of that mold, which is spectacular. Where it's a relationship, it's a symbiosis, you balance each other, you create an opportunity of those times, and you're taking care of those times together.
Yeah.
It's a moment together, and so I was being, having some great revelation. Everyone, I've been, as this menopause is sort of transforming itself, I'm so blessed not to have extreme physical problems.
Yet.
Yet, no.
Sorry, I don't mean to be downer with
But
that, but you're still in the beginning phases, eh?
Wendy.
Sorry, I thought that too. I was like, this is a piece of cake. And then
So we'll see. Well, I'm working on it,
brokers.
right? I'm working on it, and I believe that in reducing, my theory is that in reducing your inflammation, taking care of some key issues, those that ramification should alleviate. That end result should alleviate.
Yeah.
And I'm to become the wise divine woman that I'm meant to be.
To bring her forth, because we're all
Forth.
there, but it's a matter of allowing her to shine through, I think.
And I think, yeah, exactly. It's been a really incredible ride. I think for me, emotions, emotional hormonal changes, I think, have been my deal breaker in this whole transformation of growth. And yeah, to me, that has been it, because yes, I have brain fog, but I can certainly um, keep conversation, do those things, be intelligent, remember things. Oh,
Squirrel.
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, I don't know if I'm in someone's parking lot here, so we'll see.
Okay.
Nosy farm. Nosy farmers. I'm just sitting here on the phone offline, so I may be in someone's parking spot. So who knows? I'll have to move.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was an incredible evening of transformation. It was a beautiful night of just reflecting, and not so much talking about the past, and not so much talking about those things.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Oh my gosh! Oh, absolutely. I'm just on the phone. I didn't want to be on the road.
Oh, that's all right.
Thank you.
Checking my crop.
It's a good-looking crop. Thank you.
People are so kind. Oh, what a nice thing in the morning to see that.
It
He's
is.
worried about you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's like, why are you? He's probably like, what the hell are you doing on my property?
Oh.
But
Well, I like to think that I like to sit in my own little world and think that was such a nice, kind gesture, because
no. I know he absolutely was. He was making sure, and he's actually just walking through. And I, as anyone knows, in farm country, July 1st is sort of that deadline of understanding where your crops will yield. And the majority of the crop should be about knee height to be on track. And this year has been a funny year because you guys have had incredible, beautiful downfalls of rain. You've had great rainfall.
Everything just shot up about a foot yesterday. We had all
And
day it rained.
we've had no rain here.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's just scattered and maybe a few little drops here or there, but it's not consistent. So, and that's sort of that understanding of, and then you can, if it looks like it's not going to, then you can apply for insurance or you plan better, right? Everything depends on timing and height and production when it comes down to it. So, but yeah, the power of vulnerability has just been, again, you listen to it over and over, or like Dare to Lead or Braving the Wilderness. Needing to be open and honest in any relationship or any friendship or any situation, even in business. And you need to be open and honest regardless of the consequences, because it has to remain truth for yourself. You can't spiral in questions. You can't spiral on what you thought you heard, right?
Nope.
Or what you thought, or you hurt that person's feelings, or you never know, like I said something, and then that voice inside, like, is that what I said? Is that what they heard? And then you don't know why you've never talked to them again. When I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I said. I was like, there was a situation that came up, we were rehashing things, and I'm like, no, I did not say that. And she's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, good Lord, where was my head? Where was my head? Oh, grief and stress and situations, or really just, you have to watch your words sometimes, and you have to watch how you express things.
Yeah,
And
I don't know about that so much, just because of the fact that you can't be responsible for how other people's perception of your words are. It's your own intention when you say things like that.
oh, I don't know if that was my intent. That was bad intention.
Okay, well, it depends on the
Yeah.
words. I mean, really. But I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time, you have to be true to you in that moment, and
Oh, yeah.
whatever it is that is. And then, like, however they take it, that's their perception. That's their idea. That's their,
Yeah. And that's what we
their,
talk. And that,
thoughts and processes, and we can't be responsible for that. I mean, you want to be gentle, you want to be kind and compassionate and everything else that we
exactly.
put ourselves into the world. But at the same time, like, I can't guess or second guess what you're going to think, because then I'm just going to be like a big ball of
No.
everybody talk to
And what I
all the
meant
time.
by that is that when you hear something and you don't have clarity on it, and this is a lesson I need to learn too, because in marriage, there are things that, you start doubting yourself of, or questioning yourself of. So learning how to be vulnerable and just ask the questions of clarity is so important. And for me, that's a valuable lesson. And even with my kids, can you say that again? Or what did you mean by that? And perhaps it's a way that I need to approach even marriage or business relationships, or even just friendships, in saying, and sort of repeating, did you just say, or how did I just say that? Or did I understand you correctly? So that we don't have to and spiral out of control of things, or allow our brains to wander, because one, my hormones are just playing.
There's a lot going on here.
My hormones are wreaking havoc on my brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's clouding your perception and your ideas and your thoughts as well too. But you're still, that's still you, your living entity. But at the same time, projecting that out onto everybody else around you, you don't know how much people are picking up on that, or
how much they are picking up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, I think an awareness of, and this is right or wrong, so it doesn't really matter, it's just my perception, an awareness of how we speak, an awareness of how we talk to people, thinking twice, talking once, because I don't ever want to hurt, or ever want to say something flippant right? Because it's not high school anymore. It's not that, you're not a young mom crazy with children and
Yeah.
that's running around. And
And
I think
stressed beyond belief.
understanding,
Yeah.
yeah, and being thoughtful in your words and that's what I'm trying to change in myself, is being thoughtful in my words and not flying off the handle. And yes, thank you, Sarah. Have a good day. Um, Taking these opportunities to just, he called me ma'am. I'm old enough to be a ma'am.
The other day I got called Miss, so I was just like, the rest of the day was just bouncing. I think he did it on purpose because he wasn't even 25, I don't think.
Oh no, he was my age. The, but my age. Oh my gosh. Hi, we're 50.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I totally get that though too. I know that there's been, I've had my ups and downs within my marriage, past marriages, and there was big learning moments in a lot of that for me when it went into the next marriage. And the thing is that within this marriage, I don't have to be so careful about what I say, because I always stop and think a lot of times of how my words are going to impact somebody else as well too. So, but at the same time, not every time, depends on my hormones, I guess, but I always stop and before I react to a silly comment or something that doesn't agree with me, or
Mhm.
an annoyance, before I jump and say, what the hell,
Yep.
or like, are you real, or something, a child or something, like I don't say those things. I have to stop myself and say, okay, well, it's like picking and choosing your battles. Like really,
It is. It is.
saying
And
one little sentence can be like the detriment to the whole day, especially if you're spending the whole day with that person. And
yeah,
I just stop for 2 seconds and I just allow myself to go, it's not worth it, and then go on from there. And I forget about it 2 seconds later, which is the amazing thing. Maybe that's the good thing with my brain, but
yeah. So I think in being, taking those moments of time and taking those moments of thoughtfulness and understanding how you respond to things, is very essential, because I can recall a couple business moments with you in your different business setups where you've had to check, right? Because words on paper or words in text are just words on text. We don't know the intention behind them, right?
no.
There's been a couple moments where you've read that, and then there's been a couple moments in my business lifetime
Yeah.
where, again, it's just words on paper,
Yeah.
and it can just be a matter of fact, but I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a matter of stepping back and again, just sort of figuring
Yeah,
out what's going on inside of you and reflecting about why it's bothering you too. Because I know with me, because I have a bit of a history with PTSD and being triggered and different things like that,
right.
that things can make me go, oh, what's going on,
Yeah,
and
what's going on?
out and whatnot. So I usually end up texting you and freaking out because of that. But
And then even our business part in our business circle,
mhm,
right? It's been really a great opportunity, because we're all in this stage together. We're all in this understanding ourselves better and how we approach people and how we work together as a team, or how we network together, as business, not business partners, but business partners. And even for our one friend who, again, felt that she was attacked, and from a business perspective, and we're like, no, how, you have to, okay, stop that and look at where that person's coming from,
mhm,
and is that person fighting a fight, right? So she's been in an uphill battle, or is she coming out of hurt, or is, and it's such great moments of clarity, or great moments of understanding, when you step back out of yourself and go, okay, I can see, well, that person needs a little prayer, or that person needs a
compassion.
little
Yeah.
love in
Yeah.
life and needs some compassion. And And sometimes there's moments where you go, well, thank you. That's nice.
And walk away.
And walk away from
yeah.
it. Or it's like you sometimes, then other times, no, you need to stand up for yourself. You need to stand your ground, like your bully in the schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stand your ground. And these are all just things as 50-year-old women, we're just all go like, yeah, we can do this. Can we?
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. I mean,
It's not.
it can be very difficult. I mean, but you have to, with me, I take things to heart, and I have to stop myself and talk to myself literally and say like, okay, no, that's not what they meant. This is not about you. You can step back from this, and really walk myself through it, because I do have the tools. I mean, I've been to therapy. I've read all the books. I've done all the work. It's a matter of, really implementing those tools that I have and talking to myself a little bit and going, okay, well, is this a situation that I want to stay in, or do I want to walk away from? Am I being weird about it? Are they being weird about it? And really just dive into it and see where my gut really reacts quite a bit, and go from there, and not just sit in that potential agony or that spiral downwards or whatever, because I know with me, I can spiral deep.
Well, I think so. And I think
Good.
using, there are really great books out there that really help in sort of understanding yourself, and so I like a lot of the Brené Brown books, because she's funny, and she just really is honest and open about her own life
Mm-hmm.
to apply those, those changing skills that we sort of need. What other books do you?
Oh my. I go through phases. I mean, I went through my Deepak Chopra phase. I'm kind of into the Brené Brown right now. Let's see here. Oh, Gabrielle Bernstein's another one that I really love. Yeah, I'm more into analytical books now, where I'm just learning.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah,
I really like the when you're digging into, say, the book of Proverbs, because it's very it provides insight to wisdom and different ways to look at things. And even though it was written before Christ, right, the BC time, or in the Old Testament, it still can be really applicable to today and gives you wisdom about today. And some things are riddles, so it's fun to, like, what the heck do they mean by that? And then you dig deeper into the concordance, or what does another author talk about this verse. But it still can be really applicable to life,
oh yeah.
and really apply sometimes some insight to yourselves into situations.
Yeah, most definitely. There was a book, it came to mind now, that it was called
There's my mother.
Pause. And it was a book that I really like. I was just a page turner, and I finished it in 2 days, and then I read it again and I read it again. And there's every little insight of it is kind of like what you're saying.
I'm okay. I'm on my phone.
Anyways, he's concerned. Anyways, it was every little insight was like you were saying, a little bit of a riddle, where it would talk about the Zen or the Tao of something, and you kind of have to figure out that riddle for yourself and how it works within your own life. And this book,
True.
it was one of those books that I ended up loving so much and I gave it away to somebody because I wanted them to have that energy as well. And
forgive me, what book was that?
It was the Zen of Oz. So it talked about the Wizard of Oz and the travel that Dorothy did down the Yellow Brick Road, and and just how it related to life and everybody's journeys as well. And and then when I wanted that book again, it was gone. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I couldn't find it for years and years and years. I just actually bought it again. I found it on Amazon. So I'm actually going through it again and going through only it's very, very slow right now. So really digesting every little proverb or sentence or saying in it at this point too. So it's really quite Cool. It's cool. There's a lot of really cool. After a while, though, I was reading so many self-help books that they all kind of blended into being the same.
Well,
thing. So
and that's
it
the
was very,
problem.
very,
Yeah,
I got out
that
of it.
that can be the problem with self-help books, is that you're really just digging into the next and the next and the next, and not actually applying
Yeah.
the skills to real life. And I think we all just morph and grow and depend, right? Like you and I both kind of go from understanding the biology of belief, or we will read the Matt Lipton books, just to have an understanding of mind body, or we'll go into nutrition, or then we'll go into functional medicine, or then we go back to beliefs. And myself, I'm like, okay, how does God play a role, and what was Jesus like? And so it depends. Everything kind of flows.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. And then you go into silly nonfiction books, right? Or
I haven't been there
or
for a while. I usually just do that in a movie form now.
exactly, or audio, right? Like
Yeah.
I've never really been that type of person to read just a nonfiction, just a book like that. But I did when I was younger.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Because that's when I was reading like the vampire trilogies, or the witch, those types of things. As I was traveling across Canada, I would pick up a trilogy, right, or something, and be able to read it when I was in a cafe, when I felt I had time and no care in the world to sit in a cafe all day and read.
Living the life back then.
We were, weren't we? Oh my goodness. And yeah, I just can't do it anymore. But anyways, and so it's just amazing. And I've never read, is it The Tao of Winnie the Pooh? Like,
yeah, I have that one too, actually. Yeah, The Tao.
I've never read it. I was like, that would be
like
really
the Zen
cool.
of Oz. It's the same kind of idea. Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun when I'm talking with even with the kids, because they're big Star Wars people, and it's even with James too. They're big Star Wars people, and
you not so much.
I'm not so much. I can watch them. See, this is key. I can watch them out of order, and I can shut them off or turn them on at any point.
What?
I know.
How are we friends? How are we friends? I don't understand. My husband and you could probably go and sit and have a beer someplace, because he has no idea the difference between Star Trek or Star Wars. And it drives me insane. Again, it's one of those things that I choose to push aside and not let bother me. Like, that's Luke Skywalker. What are you talking about?
I can really get them going. I mean, who is this? Was this before or after? Or is that Analea? Or what's her name again? And I'll be like, they're just like looking death stare, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But when you're looking at different movies like that, it's very interesting if you look at it from what lesson are they trying to teach, and what can you abstract from that as a valuable lesson for life, right? And I find that often very interesting about the bigger series, the bigger movies in that, even if they are science fiction, right? What lessons was
it's a hero journey is what it is.
It is, yeah. So it's always very exciting.
Yeah.
Always very exciting to get your Star Wars geek go. But so this week, today I'm leaving for Ottawa. I'm going to go visit my brother and go see their magnificent treehouse, and then get on the road, because it is going to be a 6-hour drive or 8-hour drive.
Ooh.
Depends I drive. And it's okay. My mom gave me a loaf of bread for the road. I'm good to go.
Oh, yay, more carbs. love your mom, but
I do have.
I can see you.
It depends. I don't want to. I've got water and coffee.
Put the bread far behind you.
my incredible dear friend Kim gave me a beautiful bouquet of herbs.
That's nice.
She picked. She's just so brilliant. She picked them out to what she thought that I needed.
Very intuitive. Nice.
Right. So some yarrow.
Oh, sage looks like.
Sage.
Yarrow. Sage is like the women's one, eh?
Yeah, and so is yarrow. Yeah. And got some holy basil.
Nice.
And so she's just really incredibly picked out this beautiful little bouquet for me for the road, because it's very fragrant.
Oh,
And
what a beautiful gift.
isn't that beautiful? And some sage, because you can hang it, when you want, you can just dry it out and leave it hanging on your mirror. And if not, then you can just eat it on the road.
Get really hungry. Pull
I
over
really,
and eat some sage.
I'll just eat it on the road. But yeah, I touch the sage. That's all I can smell now. So I'm just like, sage.
I love my herb basket. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, so you're not
So
working on today, eh?
I'm going to re-listen to Braving the Wilderness today.
Well, you got 8 hours to do it, so.
Yes. So we'll see. I mean, I have some other really great books. Have you ever listened to Joe Dispenza? I'll say Joe Dispenza, and I'm sure that's not the proper name. He's more of a psychologist. Those are really incredible books as well. Dr. Joe something starts with a D.
I'm actually not that good at listening to audio books, because I have a tendency to do that multitasking that we were talking about, and then I don't absorb the book enough. I think, oh, that's fine, I'll put it on while I'm cooking or I'm doing something else, but I don't get it. Like I don't absorb any of the information that's coming through, so I don't do good with audio. Some people, like in the car, yes, I can do it, but
in the car is where I mostly listen to it. Because again, as I had said before, I'm finding myself now, I need to do one thing at a time, one person at a time.
Yeah. Oh, I watched a movie last night. I don't know if you've seen it. The Tom Hanks movie about Mr. Rogers, and the one line that he says in there, that when he was doing his program, it was like he was talking to one child and one child only, and giving that child that message. And then when he talks to people, he would do and give his attention, his full attention, to that one person. And I get goosebumps thinking about it, because I know people that do that, and it's something that I kind of work towards doing as well, because it's such a gift to have somebody's attention like that, to have their full and complete 100%, like nothing else is going on around them, and they are just so absorbed in the things that you have to say, or the messages they have to give you, or even just that hug, that full attention. It's not just like you've got 1,000 things going on in your head, or swirl or whatever going on around you, but that's such a gift.
For me, I think the biggest lesson that I've learned, and the biggest revelation that I've heard, that I am learning right now, my big aha moment, is that I can no longer be one to all, but I need to be all to one.
That's a big responsibility, honey.
But I can't pour myself out wholly and completely to a group of people. Like, I can, it depends on the situations, right? But if I really want to pour my heart and soul, I'm better in a smaller group, or I'm better as one. And these are friendships, and these are one-on-one clients, and these are my family and friends. And I find myself that I'm getting pulled too much with, I'll say my big personality, because if anyone, I can be a big personality, and it's exhausting. So it's hard to just
be that to everybody. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, be that to everybody. But just to be able to learn how to allow myself to be, and that's just probably where my brain is right now. And maybe I need to be one to all, and that's just a new skill I need to learn. But when you're looking at trying to, and again, I look at the aspect of trying to be a multitasker, and it's hard.
Well, I think that's part of, a lot of people's focus right now, because we are super stimulated with this, and then this, and then the noises going on behind me, and all these different things. We have so much coming at us at all times. I mean, I could flip this around and show you how many tabs I've got open on my computer right now. And that's usually where my brain is at. We really should try to focus down. I think we would have that better focus, that better attention span, that better.
And from a coach perspective, having that skill to be able to hone in is much more valuable than that, shotgun approach, rather than being throwing the spaghetti on the wall hoping something catches.
Well, no,
And
I mean, I don't think that's really where we're at. I think with you and I, because we both offer group as well as individual coaching, it is something that, you give so much during one session of, say, a group coaching, but you give a different level of yourself in one-on-one situation.
in one-on-one. Yeah.
And I mean, that's why a one-on-one is more valuable and more, more refined and fine-tuned to what we're doing, as opposed to a group coaching, which we are able to help the same amount of people, because a lot of people, they learn differently, they take in things differently, they're shy, they don't ask, but they are able to take in our knowledge or whatever, but it is more generalized. But it again, it's what people need and what people want. So I mean, even on a friendship situation, you're one-on-one with people, you can be very a different person than, say, if you're at a party with a group of people that you all care equally for, you're going to be different at that point too. So it's a matter of how much you want to cut yourself up into pieces for that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a great opportunity for learning, and I look forward to listening to the audiobook today, and just kind of and or maybe I won't listen to that book today. I don't know. I haven't really downloaded a book yet to see, and kind of gotta wait and see. It's a good day. It's a good day for driving. It's so beautiful. So
Yeah, it's nice here too now, so that's good.
well,
we
will
should,
end.
we'll end it there. And everybody, I just want to let you know, anybody that's interested, I put up a new little recipe video on my YouTube channel.
Wonderful.
It's about roasted artichokes. So it's just a nice little salad that people can put together. Just an idea, as well as, everything that we do, we all have different kinds of ideas and tips, and, for food. I know a lot of people have sometimes a difficult time. And I know you and I were discussing this the other day about, maybe we should get more analytical or functional with our talks, as opposed to being a little bit more airy like this. And I really dove into that feeling yesterday and thinking, what do people actually want from us, and what are people actually attracted to us for, as as we do these little talks and stuff like that. And I think I'm losing track of what I wanted to say, but people, they want recipes, but sometimes they don't want to dive into the harder things. A lot of people just want meal plans and recipes, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, we can sit here and talk about artichokes all day long if you wanted us to, but the thing is, sometimes people don't talk about the deeper things. And I think that's where, talks like today, where we were talking about
being vulnerable.
Being vulnerable, and yesterday with my little crying episode about my passions. Sometimes that scares people, and sometimes at the same time, this is something that people need as well. So I think, we're probably just going to continue doing a little bit of both. Some days we'll just talk about watermelons, and other days we'll just talk about our deep, deep feelings. And this is what we do. And I think we can't really shift from that, because that's who we are, really. That's about as real as we get. We are deep thinkers. We are emotional beings, creatures, very emotional these days. And plus we love to cook. Plus we love our nutrition. We love what it does for the body. We love the potentials for disease prevention. We love all these things. So this is why we do, I think, this whole thing. So
absolutely. And I think that's key, right?
Yeah.
And I think no matter what we think or what we do, big deer fly, that we have to remain in that someone needed to hear that today.
Yeah.
Someone needed to hear that yesterday and you've made an impact in their lives?
I would like to hope so, but
That's what it is, right?
yeah, I have to, that's that faith. Yeah.
That's the faith of things. You just always, and you know, it's interesting that even some of the things that you may say to a client or you say to a group of women, and you're kind of like, where did that just come from? But no, someone needed to hear it. I'm always a big believer of that. God has put something on my heart because I either needed to hear it or someone needed to hear it today. So, yes,
Yeah.
someone needs to learn today that being vulnerable is okay.
Yeah.
And that being your true self, listening to yourself, listening to the people around you, and taking that in and thinking about it is very important.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's maybe why, well, from my perspective anyways, that I have really found a deep friendship with you, because I think you are the same type of person. You're very down to earth. You are what you see. You like, you laugh, you cry, you don't pretend. This is whatever is there, and that's what I respect in people. And if I'm doing something, I know that you're gonna you're gonna call me on that, and that's the kind of people that I like to hang around. So that's the kind of hope. I think that's kind of how I am as well too. So
Yeah, I think that's what we try to achieve, right? Like I want to be true, and I want to just be, and that's, if I swear, I swear. If I drink, I drink. But I still love God, I still love you, and I still love my family, and I'm not gonna lie, cheat, or steal.
no, and I mean, it doesn't really accomplish anything by trying to hide or be something that we're not either, or because,
Right,
we're far from perfect. I mean, nobody is perfect. And that's, I think, what we really try to express to a lot of these people that are watching, is that nobody's perfect. We're as real as it's going to get. And that's the way life is. So why not just live it the way it is and accept that for what it is?
Exactly.
All right.
Live life to the fullest in truth and hope, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, my dear, I see you're driving, so we will probably cut it off there, because I don't want you to get in an accident. And
Ain't doing anything illegal.
No, you're not doing anything illegal, I don't think, but I want to distract you. I'm getting nervous.
I'm not even speeding, so you're good.
Thank
you so much for joining us today. If you've joined us, and if you're watching this again, thank you so much for watching. We just love working. I just love people. I'm glad that we're back in clinic. Back in Sudbury next week, and I really hope to really be part of people's changes in their lives. So,
yeah. It's a wonderful thing that we do.
Yes.
Sounds like a song. All right. Take care, my dear.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.